Okay, I take this as a major sign that I need to post a video that, if you watch my last video, I'm literally uploading it now after I just recorded it. Okay, I'll get straight to the point. I'm taking this as a sign that the video I was putting off and thinking, I don't need to say this, I don't need to say this, I haven't completed the thoughts. I go on Facebook, like I do a completely different video. If you haven't seen it, I'm currently, as I record this, uploading it to YouTube as we speak. I recorded that, started the upload process, and thought, okay, I'll just scroll Facebook for a little bit. And my dear, dear cousin, not knowing, obviously, any of these thoughts, he lives across the country from me. No, I haven't talked to anyone about this idea of a video to post. I take this as a clear sign that I need to do this video. I go on Facebook and I look at this quote that my cousin just posted. It says, imagine being bitten by a snake, and instead of focusing on healing from the poison, you chase the snake to understand why it bit you and to prove that you didn't deserve it. The reason I'm just so in awe of the timing of this and how I wasn't going to post this video, this is a clear, I don't know, somebody needs this. Somebody needs to hear this. I'm going to read it again. Imagine being bitten by a snake, and instead of focusing on healing from the poison, you chase the snake to understand why it bit you and to prove that you didn't deserve it. I was gonna do a whole video. I mean, I'm doing it now. It's off the cuff. I don't exactly know what I'm gonna say. I wanted to do a video about how so many times people who are truly innocent victims of like relational harm, I'm not talking about like obviously anything illegal. I'm just talking about like how in our relationships with people, we can be genuinely innocent bystanders or targets of someone treating us really badly and things going badly. And I thought about how if we don't find healing from those things, so many times we start becoming the thing that hurt us. Like we get so focused on this was wrong. They shouldn't have done this. I'm going to confront them. I'm going to confront them again. I'm not going to rest until this person apologizes and recognizes what they've done to me. And someone can all of us, me included, all of us can very easily go from someone who has been wronged and then giving into, we almost become a poison ourselves, instead of, like this quote said. I'm looking down because I just went on my iPad and looked at Facebook. I'm still looking at the post from my cousin. We can go from being someone who's been bitten and wrongfully taking in poison, someone else's poison, undeservedly, into basically letting that poison take over our lives. And I have recently had the privilege of walking very closely with someone who has gotten a lot of healing without apologies from, someone in their life who has harmed them. They never got apologies, things were never fully restored. And yet this person has been able to maintain kindness and show love, express love. And I don't believe that means you're a doormat if you choose to heal. And as this quote is, implying, focus when you've been bitten by a snake, basically harmed by others. Again, I mean relationally. I don't mean like, illegal activity is a whole other conversation, which I'm not covering here. Seeking justice for those types of things. I'm talking about in relationships when people, backbiting, gossip, harshness, unforgiveness, or whatever, like being ostracized. focus more on healing from the poison than on chasing down the snake and making them answer for themselves. Or, um, obviously, yes, if it makes sense, uh, again, there's so much nuance to this. If it's a type of relationship in your life that you really need to go, like, you know what I mean? Like, we know people at different levels. If this is someone in your life that you're like, we need to reconcile, like, let them know what happened, and confront, whatever word you want to use, say, hey, I'd like to talk about this, let's work it out. If that doesn't go well, sure, maybe you can bring somebody else in and say, like, hey, will you help me talk to this person, and let's be at peace with each other. If that doesn't work, you've got to focus. I don't know your circumstances. I will say it this way: you will find much more peace in your life in focusing on healing from the poison than on chasing down the snake and trying to understand why it bit you and to prove that you didn't deserve it. There will be some people in your life that you never, ever get an apology from, and that cannot be the thing that controls your life and takes over. You'll be missing out on so many beautiful things in life. Heal from the poison and go out and be someone who can also heal others and be there for others. There's a difference between expressing something that, like, saying, like, hey, this isn't fair, you shouldn't have done this to me, or I need an apology. You can only do that for so long before the poison starts to make its way through you and through your life. And I have seen it happen too many times where someone goes from being like an innocent victim of, like, rudeness or gossip or harshness or mistreatment emotionally. They sometimes take this turn into, like, oh no, you just became, like, we can go from being someone who has been harmed into becoming someone who harms, and you don't want that. And it's not easy, so I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, just move on. It takes a lot of work. Maybe counseling or meeting with someone regularly that that is really wise, that can support you and help you with this. But sometimes we need to just decide to let people be wrong about us and decide to live our lives. You have way too much purpose in life and way too much good to do in life than to be held down and held back by people who have harmed you. Again, like I mentioned before, hopefully it doesn't need to be mentioned, I'm not talking about, like, criminal things, illegal things happening to you. I'm just talking about relational harm between friends or family or whoever. And we have to, for even just our own health, choose healing instead of focusing on proving ourselves and chasing after apologies that may never come. Maybe they will, but I don't think they're going to come from turning into someone who harms or is taken over by letting your harm take over your life. Don't let it take over your life. Don't let the poison take over your life. I know this sounds weird. And again, I wasn't going to post this. I just literally I've been thinking about this topic for almost 24 hours now. And I thought, like, man, I need to make a YouTube video about this. And I talked myself out of it. And thank you. I don't know, to my dear cousin. I don't know if you watch these videos or not. But if you do, your post was a sign that I need to do this video. And your post helped me put words to what I wanted to say. It's all come together. Imagine being bitten by a snake, and instead of focusing on healing from the poison, you chase the snake to understand why it bit you and to prove that you didn't deserve it. And of course, the whole point is You wouldn't do that. It wouldn't make sense to do that. So why do we do that? Let's focus on healing. Sometimes healing comes from being able to talk things through with people. Yeah, it's worth a try. Absolutely. At least you can say you tried. But don't let it take over your whole life. There you go.